If you clicked on this video, congratulations! 2 things before we get into the video. Number 1, baby vlogs. Been seeing a lot of them on my timeline. They're cute, calm, cool, and collective. But to my FBI agent, hey, girly pop, it ain't gonna happen. Not with this one. No, I'm not in the line. Not in this zeitgeist, not in this timeline, not in this time frame. No. Baby vlogs are just the best form of birth control, I think, is like really out right now. Why? Because doing vlogs is hella stressful, right? You got to set up the shot. We got to have the lighting, got to paint out the story. And just imagine doing that with a crying child in the background, in your arms, in the shot, in the story. You are trying to film aesthetically, and then there's a blowout that happens, on the bed sheets. Just imagine, and all of that was out of frame. So then you gotta what? Do it again. While what? You're still crying, and then I gotta get the bottle. It's too much. I quite literally would jump off the bridge, like full head force. I'm not even playing. Number 2, I'm only gonna say this once. If I see you in a public restroom and you walk out without washing your hands, you deserve to get doxxed, and you deserve extra tax on whatever you're buying, whatever you're convoluting in this lifetime. I'm talking about mortgage, I'm talking about bills, I'm talking about food, everything up and beyond. Why? Because you are a hazard to society. It's wild, right? Because like you did your business in the stall, right? A 4x4, 1 by inch, I don't know measurements, math. And then you come out, you see me, I see you, see me, see you. Look in the mirror, decide to, zhush it up, fix your face, fix the lace, make sure that it's blended, Make sure that the foundation matches the hair, the scalp line. Because, again, and then you want to tra-la-la-la-la out the bathroom? Not even a little wet? Not even a little hand sanitizer? Just trot out there, and then you want to touch everything up in between and beyond. Yeah, welcome back to YouTube channel, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming back. So I want to talk about the drama for your llama, save it for your mama. You are the drama, I've been watching those videos, and there's one that really tickled my soul. It said that he texts you once a day, only reaches you out once a day. So you are the vitamin, and that's the one. Wow, Black women, Black people. But yeah, the drama is a really good film. I've been seeing it everywhere up in between. I finally got a chance to see it with a friend of mine. It stars Robert Pattinson and the one and only, the diva, Zendaya. Yeah? And, I've been seeing the trailer, been seeing the poster. I've been seeing all the plot twists and theories. It really did a great job with marketing. Let me tell you something. Marketing in a movie, like I said in the last video, that is what you guys are really focusing on versus like the plot of the movie. But this one had both. It had both of them. Shout out to Zendaya, because you got married in between, and then you used this to only out yourself, not only of being Mrs. Holland and Mr. Zendaya, because I like that, but also promoting a film that you ate, quite literally, up the girlies. But let's get into this film, share my thoughts, feelings, opinions with the class in this dissertation. I'm going to start out with the fact that this had a very nice dynamic spin on a very controversial topic that is hot off the press, has been hot off the press for the past 10 years, maybe more, especially in these United States of America, if we can still call it that. And the narrative that they pushed with this certain specific subject, might I say, it was very risky, because this could have been the do or die. I can imagine in the pitch room, when you pitched this idea, they could have instantly said, good night, I'm actually going to call the CIA. You're going down the list. But this was a nice, creative, realistic spin on morality, on hubris, and on virtue signaling. Quite literally between Emma, Charlie, and that rusty, dusty friend, Lauren. I got something for you later. Cause she, woo! But yeah, this film, in the beginning, it starts out as, your simple, super duper love story. They meet in a bookshop, a coffee shop. And Charlie, who is played by Robert Pattinson, goes up to Emma, who is played by Zendaya. And he decides he wants to talk to her. You know what I'm saying? He see mama over there reading the book. He like what he see. He want to get a taste of that. Lo and behold, when he tried to talk up his game, she's deaf in one ear and she did not hear anything that he said. So then he makes it super awkward because you Google a book that she's reading so that you can be within the club, but you're really outside of the club, and then some. And that's like the beginning of their love story. And it kind of fast forward to the fact that they're engaged and they're getting married in 3 days, and he has to write his vows and he's trying to figure out what to say. And, it's all fun, right? Planning the wedding. And they go out one night with their friends, Lauren and her husband. And they sit down and they have wine. The girlies get drunk, right? And they decide, this is the time that we want to get shicey, really test the friendship. And they they go around and they admit about, the worst things that they ever did, like in life. Something that you're supposed to take to the grave. And everybody, ring around the rosy. We all take turns. And then when it comes to Emma, she really drops the truth, right? She said, I thought this was a safe space. I wanted to speak my truth. And when she spoke her truth, y'all decided to paint her as the villain. I have a very controversial opinion. Emma is really not the real villain in this whole film. It really actually is Charlie and Lauren. Yeah, walk with me. So I don't want to spoil it, for anybody who hasn't had a chance to see it. But basically, I'm going to say that Emma stated that she did a very horrific thing hypothetically. Did she do it? No. But she thought about it and she planned it. And then she decided to change her actions, take accountability for such said actions, and actually go into the opposite direction, the antithesis of what she was doing, to create change. While everybody else was being rusty, dusty, and musty. Quite literally the messiest of messies. With not only their past stuff, but with current stuff. And you got the nerve to judge her because she decided to step, rep her set and stand 10 toes down in what she did and actually take accountability for what she did. Ain't that crazy? It's wild. Production-wise, this film, it was very enjoyable and they were very smart and sneaky, right? You played on words with the subject. You kind of touched around it, even the sound effects, and even like the visual effects, because one thing that Emma does, I want to say it's out of a trauma response or a stress response, is like throwing up every single time she talks about what she did, which is like, it really shows a sense of guilt, right? Because everybody else, when they talked about what they did, they laughed about it. It was like a key. And then when you really kind of sat in the room, you were like, oh, well, I guess it was kind of messed up, but you always try to justify what you did. Versus with Emma, when she tried to justify what she did, it came from a realistic perspective, a realistic place where really anybody could have been in her shoes. I'm just saying. And she came out brighter on the other side. And of course it plays on, will she, won't she, did she actually change, or is this a facade? But I think it's very funny how we all point fingers at the guilty one who decides to own up to what they did, and everybody else is playing off like they're not a terrible person. Now, Lauren, come into the room. Step up right here up to the front. Let me tell you something. Lauren is a lot of all y'all friends. Lauren is the friend in the group that is virtue signaling, that says, I'm a good person because I do X, Y, and Z. And because I didn't do what you did, I'm allowed to judge you. And of course, I'm above you. And baby, I was like, first of all, you got the nerve to try to not only finesse the wedding, but really dog her out and try to throw out her business. Why did she still get invited to the wedding? I don't know. And then Charlie, he was in distress because he's like, who did I marry? I don't know you. But Charlie also did some pretty messed up stuff. And then you got the nerve, out of stress because you decide you want to do hypotheticals with your assistant, try to get the Yamins in the office, and then you want to stop yourself after you ripped her shirt? And you still invited her to the wedding? Out of pocket. And the whole time, Emma, she's just out here trying to be a good person. She got her dress on, maybe want to say a speech. She's stressing out. The paranoia is setting in because she's like, everybody knows, everybody's looking at me. Boy, I tell you, it's a lot of high stressors. But this film, really, it makes you look on the inside. It makes you look about what would you actually do under these given circumstances? Could that be you? And really the answer could be all of us. And you never know. that could be somebody who's walking along the streets, somebody who you're talking to, maybe somebody who is your best friend, somebody who could be your relative. You would never know. And thankfully she came out on the other side as a good consequence versus like, you know, the latter. But I gotta say, shout out to the cast, because the way that they market this film, I would have never guessed that it would have went this way. They even said like the poster, they changed the poster. It's heavily edited. And once you look at the poster and then you watch the film afterwards and you go back and look at the poster, it's very ironic. So I got to say, definitely go see this film. This is the one to talk about over lunch, brunch, wine, if we get drunk, right? Because this is actually going to bring out the real personality, the Freudian slip, might I add. Because there's a lot of dirty secrets, man. And it's crazy how you want to throw stones in a glass house. Yeah? Yeah. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe. It's getting hot out here. But then the temperature also drops. I just got to say, you know, you're real bold for wearing running shorts, like the whole getup, in the supermarket where there's air conditioning. Are we running in the store? No. Also, you know, the babies, make sure they go out and touch grass. You having your kid on the iPad inside the house and outside the house, crazy work. And then you wonder why they can't do math or don't know what an orange is. Can they spell orange? Can they spell their own name? I also saw this thing on TikTok. Speaking of toxicity of friends, somebody in this car, it's this trend where everybody gets in the car and I guess we reveal like the things we weren't supposed to talk about or your actual real judgment of your real life friends. And might I say, it's actually amazing the tolerance of what you guys have to hang around like real, actual, terrible people. So I just feel like everybody should go see The Lady, and everybody should go get a script. There was one where somebody freely said about the fact that homeboy did not have a wash rag or soap, that he washed his booty with his hands. And y'all let him in the car? Y'all still talk to him? Huh? When he touches the phone, y'all touch the phone? And then, because that's the booty. Huh? Yeah, that's crazy work, man, right? Like sometimes, you know, we got to take a time out. It's okay to be like, you actually got to go. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.